On August 26, 2022, I took a solo weekend to Wildwood, New Jersey because summer crowds had thinned, hotel rates were cheap, and I needed distance from work stress. So at dusk I walked the famous wooden boardwalk, salt air sweet with funnel cake sugar while arcades clanged, and I decided to record ambient sounds for a podcast idea, holding my phone close to planks as footfalls thudded, yet beneath normal steps a faint hollow metronome tapped slower, out of sync, like someone underneath counting each board, and curiosity won. So I followed the odd rhythm north, where shops grew scarce, lights dimmer, until I reached a shuttered fortune-telling booth shaped like a ship prow, paint peeling, closed sign faded. But inside glass, the animatronic sailor figure still rocked though electricity to the stall was cut, and its wooden mouth clicked open, then shut exactly with the hollow board taps behind me. I backed away, heart quick, but my phone screen flashed new audio file saved even though I had stopped recording, and the file name showed a timestamp 3 minutes in the future, which made no sense. Yet I played it and heard my own footsteps walking, breath faster, then a second set of steps racing up from behind, ending with a splash, so gooseflesh rose, and I spun. The boardwalk remained empty except for a single gull perched on rail staring inland. Waves roared below, but the tide had retreated far, exposing dark wet sand and broken pilings. Drawn by fear and curiosity, I descended the lifeguard ramp onto beach, phone light guiding, and saw fresh prints leading toward water, deeper than mine, spaced long like running, but halfway they stopped, replaced by plank impressions as if the boardwalk itself continued invisible into surf. I crouched, touched one indentation, wood grain pressed into sand yet no wood present, and from ocean mist, a dull bell tolled 9 low beats, though pier clocks behind showed 8:47. My phone chimed again. New audio file, future tag. I played it, and heard waves reverse, crashing backward, shells skittering from shore to sea. Then a voice low and cracked whispering board by board by board, counting down from 12. I pocketed phone, sprinted back up the ramp, but each plank underfoot creaked opposite my weight, rising instead of settling, lifting my shoes a hair as if rejecting me, and the ship booth sailor now pointed one wooden finger seaward, head tracking me though gears silent. Wind died so sudden I heard Ferris wheel music half-mile away, slow like tape melting. I ran south toward lit midway, yet lights ahead flicked off row by row, shutters rolling down though vendors still inside yelled what's happening. Under the dark one, bulb ahead glowed green above an old diving bell ride, long closed, steel doors chained. But as I neared the chain lay broken, door ajar, interior ladder descending into black. The hollow tapping beneath planks now matched my pulse, louder, boards vibrating. My phone recorded again on its own, label final. Panic crashed, yet some force tugged ankles forward like undertow, so I grabbed a trash barrel lid, wedged it across the diving bell doorway, turned to flee, and the tapping stopped. Silence so heavy, ears rang. Then a single plank behind me split upward, a hand-shaped sliver rising, wet with brine, pointing same seaward line. I bolted, passing closed kiosks until crowd and bright rides returned, music normal, yet when I looked back, the last block of boardwalk beyond the fortune booth was gone, replaced by flat sand as if never built. Police later found no damage reports, no sailor automaton, no diving bell stall, but on my phone 3 files remained, each blank except final one, which held only a recording of me sobbing and wooden knocks counting backward from 12 to 0, finishing with my own voice, calm yet hollow, saying, "Step off. The tide is ready." I left Wildwood at sunrise, swearing never to walk a lonely boardwalk again, because sometimes the planks remember how many feet cross them, and one night they might decide the number is too high and start subtracting. On October 15, 2021, I spent a cool Friday night on the Santa Cruz beach boardwalk because my younger brother Noah wanted late-season rides before they shut for winter, and I needed a break from grad exams, so we parked near the river mouth and followed Neon until the smell of kettle corn mixed with ocean salt and everything felt happy as usual. But just past the Giant Dipper, we noticed an older midway stall wedged between new arcades that neither of us remembered seeing last summer. A hand-painted sign read, "Lucky Hook Game. $5, catch a fish, win a friend," and the word friend looked painted over another word we could not read. The booth lights flickered a soft amber instead of bright LED, and behind the counter sat a thin attendant in a faded referee shirt, staring at the sand with eyes half shut. Noah loves claw machines and carnival scams, so he begged to try, and I agreed. Thinking $5 was cheap for nostalgia, he paid the man who never spoke, just slid a metal bucket toward us. Inside lay dozens of small wooden fish cutouts, each stamped with a number and fitted with tiny eyelets. Noah got a bamboo pole with a dull hook string tied loose. The rules on cardboard said, "Hook one fish before music ends. If number matches light, you claim the grand friend." Noah laughed at the phrase grand friend and nudged me to film on my phone. The attendant pressed an ancient cassette player music box tune warbled tinny. Maybe an old sea shanty, and Noah dipped hook among fish shapes swirling in shallow water that looked dark. Not from dye, but depth. He snagged one, held it up. Number 11, the single overhead bulb blinked once twice, then burned steady on the back wall. A dusty marquee lit, showing 11 in red bulbs. Prize chute opened with clunk, spitting out a rolled poster. Noah cheered, but attendant frowned, sliding bucket toward me silently, insisting I play. I started polite refusal, but the cassette rewound itself. Song began again. Fish bucket rippled, though no breeze. I gave 5 singles. The man's hand cold against mine. Pole felt heavier now. Water in trough looked deeper, so I knelt, hooked a fish, almost immediately. Number 15.
Light board stuttered between digits, then settled on 15. Chute opened. Something larger thudded inside. I reached in and lifted a plush, dolphin life-size, eyes glassy wet fabric damp with cold seawater. Attendant finally spoke, voice like splinters, saying still not the friend, and his mouth never moved.
Noah whispered, "We leave now." But the cassette clicked, starting a lower, slower tune. Lights along Boardwalk behind us dimmed one by one, as if power grid sagged and crowd noise faded. I felt pressure in ears, like diving too fast. The trough water turned ink-black. Wooden fish sank out of sight. Pole line pulled hard toward water like something caught deep. I let go, but line tightened, dragging pole under with a pop that splashed me. Attendant tilted head and said, "Boardwalk owes a friend every night. Tonight it chooses you." Words sounded inside my skull, not air. Noah grabbed my arm to run, yet the booth walls stretched wider like hallway rubber, bending, revealing interior space impossible behind the counter. A longer pool appeared, moonlit waves lapping against posts, a miniature pier inside the stall. The plush dolphin twitched, fell from my grip, flopped toward water, leaving wet streaks on wood, then slid over edge, disappearing without splash. Marquee bulbs flashed "New game start," and numbers scrolled faster than eyes could read. Attendant pointed to bucket now empty, except one wooden fish, larger than others, carved detailed silver hook already through its eye. Noah shouted, "Stop!" but my hands moved without will, pulling fish free. Finding number 0 burned into side, not paint, actual char lines. I threw it down, but it clung sticky to palm. Attendant smiled, eyes still closed. Cassette music reversed, playing underwater. Gargle trough water rose, overflowed across stall floor around our shoes. Cold as winter ocean. Wooden planks beneath booth groaned. Boards of Boardwalk behind us, stretching, pulling like conveyor walkway, aiming us toward water. Noah dragged me back, yet feet slid on soaked timbers. Every plank seemed greased. Crowd vanished, lights out, entire amusement strip. Silent, only booth glowed as anchor in dark. We made final dash and cleared stall threshold. Sudden dry ground, normal lights far away, roars of coaster alive again behind us. Booth looked regular size. Attendant gone, bucket dry only. Prize chute open empty. We sprinted off Boardwalk and drove back to motel, breathing ragged. Next morning, Noah insisted we verify daylight. We returned tourists everywhere, but between arcades a fresh patch of plywood covered a gap. No Lucky Hook booth maintenance guy said small fire burned an old storage shed overnight when we described game. He shrugged, said no. Such stall reopened in 10 years at motel. We unpacked wet clothes and found the wooden fish numbered 0 in my bag. Wood, warm pulsing faintly like heartbeat. That night I woke to cassette music outside our door. Fish gone patio railing wet with brine. I checked beach and saw plush dolphin washed up sand around it marked by barefoot prints leading toward Boardwalk, which sat dark closed gates locked. Yet one midway bulb, near gap, flickered amber, counting down with each pulse. My phone recorded 8 hours of static ending with attendant voice whispering, "Number 0 friend accepted now Boardwalk Square. Noah refuses shore trips." I avoid carnival games, but sometimes coastal news reports lost tourists stepping off closed piers at night and current carrying them unseen. Maybe the boardwalk still seeks its quota. Maybe my empty hand paid only part of debt, and one August night, the amber bulb will light 0 again, calling me back to finish the game that started with a fish and ends with a tide that never gives back what it hooks. On July 5, 2021, in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, I walked the pier boardwalk after fireworks because the crowd had thinned, and the smell of spent powder mixed with ocean brine felt calming. So I drifted past shuttered t-shirt stalls and empty corn dog carts, while gulls cried overhead in the dark, and I noticed a small photo booth tucked between 2 souvenir huts. Its neon sign weakly pulsing 4 poses, $2, and inside glowed a dull red bulb like a darkroom light. The curtain half open as if inviting someone in. I had not seen the booth earlier when the strip bustled, yet thought nothing. Because vendors rolled new attractions on and off all summer, I dug 2 crumpled bills from my pocket, wanting a cheap keepsake. After the holiday stepped inside, sat on the cracked vinyl seat, and slid the money metal clinked gears word screen, never flashed. Instead, a calm breeze drifted through booth smelling of seaweed. Curtain rustled through boardwalk. Wind blew opposite way. A faint click sounded behind mirror glass. Then another, like an old shutter cycling 4 times a strip. Ejected warm and damp lettering across top red pier memories. I expected goofy shots, but each frame showed the same scene me staring into lens, yet background changed first frame, normal, second frame, a thin mist curled around my shoulders, third frame, boardwalk seats behind me, empty. Before now showed blurry silhouettes sitting very still, and fourth frame my own face missing, replaced by gray fog. I laughed, nervous tucked strip in wallet, thinking film exposure glitch, and stepped outside. The night seemed heavier, lights down the pier looked dimmer. Wooden planks under feet felt wet, though no rain clouds passed over half moon. I decided to head back toward hotel. Yet as I walked, distant music from arcades sounded muffled like underwater. I glanced at water rail. Line waves lapped slower than normal, almost reversed foam sliding towards sea. Not shore. I shook it off. Blame fireworks haze. 10 yards later, phone buzzed. I checked screen, new notification. Tagged pier memories. Thank you for your likeness file attached. I opened it, a clear photo of me exiting booth, shot from above, even though no camera pointed there. Caption time-stamped 1 minute in future. Shrugging, I kept walking, but the boardwalk ahead appeared longer than before. Stalls repeating same names, Bubble Shack 3 times in row each with identical closed shutters. I spun to confirm behind me, but path mirrored same duplication Bubble Shack signs stretching back, vanishing into dark. My hotel sign gone, I paced faster. Boards creaked odd rhythm tempo of a slow heartbeat. Mist rolled ankle high, bringing smell of old wood rot. Speakers along pier crackled, playing faint tune carousel. Waltz, slowed by half a voice through static, said, "Pose 2 ready." Though I walked alone. Suddenly, the photo strip in wallet grew hot. I pulled it out, edges wet ink dripped off fourth frame where my face missing slowly. Numbers printed across, 0.03. Then began counting down. I looked up at booth, now impossibly in front of me. Curtain flapping, though no wind voice again. Pose 3 ready timer on strip hit 02:45, falling. I backed away, but boards behind me flexed upward, forming gentle slope, pushing me toward booth, as if conveyor. My shoes slid, powerless. I grabbed railing splinters, cut palm water below black. No lights from shore felt near, yet no sound of people. Time on strip, 02.10 boards tapped like camera shutters. Each tap matched drop of 60 seconds to next number. Though normal seconds, shorter panic set, I considered jumping into water. But shadows moved beneath surface shapes, long and flat, gliding just under skin. Of ocean waiting booth doors creaked, wider seat, visible inside red bulb, brighter pulse syncing to countdown 01:20. Voice softer pose, 4 final. I realized if timer reached 0, something worse would happen. Maybe my real face removed, like 4th frame. I yanked souvenir hut door, hoping exit. But door opened to same booth interior path, looping geometry wrong. I ran opposite direction, sprinted through fog numbers, still dropping, 0.50, 0.45. No matter pace booth, always 3 steps ahead, curtain, breathing like lungs. Then I spotted maintenance ladder down to sand ramp, gate open. I dove through, stumbled onto beach, cold damp grit, under knees, clock 00:30, strip ink blurred, but continued waves rolled proper direction. Here sound returned, faint traffic far off. I bolted along shoreline, away from pier fog, thinned after 50 yards, looked back. Boardwalk lights flicked off section by section, until entire pier dark voice carried faint on wind pose, mist resetting. Then silent strip in hand, stopped at 001, froze, ink dried thin outline of my face, reappeared, eyes closed, mouth open, as if exhaling, relieved. I stuffed strip deep in pocket headed inland to well-lit boulevard.
Found security guard told story. He chuckled. Said photo booths pulled last season, none remain on pier. I insisted, dragged him to spot only empty gap rail, missing boards, new plywood patch marking recent repair. No plug lines, no booth guard, shrugged. Said storms wash kiosks out, sometimes. He walked off, shaking head.
I returned to hotel, could not sleep, kept strip on desk by lamp, midnight. Sharp phone chimed again. Peer memories, hope to see you tomorrow. Attached photo booth against sunlit backdrop of empty beach timer overlay. 24 Dagsjour. Ticking down slowly to next night. I left town before sunrise, never returned months later. Friend mailed postcard of pier renovations. Picture showed brand new photo booth painted bright with same font. 4 poses, $2. But if I zoom the digital card, I see inside shadow on seat shaped like me, head missing, just gray fog holding place, waiting for countdown to ring the shutter when I finally step in front of its hungry mirror again. The next time a quiet boardwalk tempts you after dark, remember, some games, planks, and photo booths are waiting to claim more than your spare change. If these true stories kept your pulse racing, like, share, subscribe, and smash the bell icon so you never miss our next step into the shadows.